That's how London is looking. The national news is next with Lucrezia, and we're back tonight after news at 10. Until then, have a great evening. Bye-bye.
In jail for the rest of his life, the terrorist who murdered Sir David Amess. The MP's family say they will never get over his violent death, while his killer, Ali Harbi Ali, smirked and winked as he was sentenced.
It breaks our heart to know that our husband and father would have greeted the murderer with a smile of friendship and would have been anxious to help. How sickening to think what happened next.
The seriousness of his crime reflected in Ali's sentence, one of only a handful of terrorists to receive a whole life term. Also tonight. The government minister quits over Partygate as Boris Johnson and the Chancellor resist calls to resign. Inflation hits a 30-year high. The cost of fuel, food and clothes rockets. Forced to apologise, the Northern Ireland football boss who said women are more emotional than men after his team lost. And in the skies, once again, we go up with the world-famous Spitfire restored from its wreckage.
This is the ITV Evening News with Lucrezia Millarini.
Good evening. The family of the murdered MP, Sir David Amess, said they felt no elation at the whole life sentence received by his killer today. In a moving statement read by police outside the Old Bailey, the family described their heartbreak, saying, "We shall never get over this tragedy." Ali Harbi Ali, the homegrown terrorist who stabbed Sir David to death after tricking his way into one of his constituency surgeries, will never be released from jail after the judge imposed the rare whole-life term. He showed little emotion during today's sentencing, apart from to smirk and wink as he was led away. From the Old Bailey, Chloe Keedy reports.
Sir David Amess was a long-serving and much-loved MP. He dedicated his life to public service. The man that murdered him will now spend the rest of his behind bars. Sir David's family were in court to see 26-year-old Ali Harbi Ali receive a whole life sentence. But in a statement read afterwards on their behalf, they said nothing could compensate for their loss.
We shall never get over this tragedy. It breaks our heart to know that our husband and father would have greeted the murderer with a smile of friendship and would have been anxious to help. How sickening to think what happened next. It is beyond evil.
Ali Harbi Ali